I am recording. Well, hey everyone. I am super excited for this Zoom tonight. This is something that Haley and I have been on each other lately about making sure we're getting our list done because we know how important it is. So we wanted to come to you guys and just give you some tips and tricks on how we're getting our list done, what we're doing every day, how we're staying organized, and all of those things. So the first thing that I want to show you, I'm going to share my screen here. I will also, just so everyone's asking, I will put a link in the chat of Zoom, and after this is over, I'll put a link to it on the Facebook Live. But I'm going to share this part of my screen. One second, let me pull it up if it lets me.
Avery, please work. Go.
It might not let me. Okay. Try one more thing because I really want to show you guys this because, okay, here we go. So this is how I stay organized. This is what I follow every single day. So I just want to go through what I do with this, okay? So obviously at the top here, I write the date. I write an affirmation or verse that I am speaking over my business that day. And I write down here, I'm not going to go too into detail on what I do with Host to Post here because I did a whole video on it, but I wrote down here, anytime that I send them a post, their name goes here, and then I highlight it once they post for me. Any potential I get, they go right here, write them down so that I know every single day who my potentials were for that day. So when I go back and I do my follow-ups, my 2 day, my 2 week, whatever system you want to do, I know what date I talked to them, okay? Right here on this right side, I highlight when I do something. So everybody's task list is going to look a little bit different. I'm going to go through mine. Haley's is different than mine, and yours will probably be different than ours. But the key is finding a list that works for you, that makes sense, and that you're willing to stick to every day, whether you want to or not. Okay. So here's my task list. This is what I do every single day. But what I want to tell you first and foremost about a task list is not your maximum. Okay. That is not you hit it and you're like, cool, done for the day, done. Right. So many times people say, oh, on my list is 8 Host to Posts, but then they hit 8 and they stop. Well, if you hit 8 at noon, girlfriend, you can get up 20 in a day. So many times people are limited by their task list because they see, oh, I just need to get up 10 messages and then we're done. No, that's the minimum. Okay. Your tasks are non-negotiable. I don't care what's going on in your day. I don't care if you have to stay up till 1 a.m. I've stayed up till 2 a.m. getting my task list done because I had a crazy day. Okay. Your task list is non-negotiable, does not change there every single day. Okay. So real quick, going through my tasks. 1, self-development. What I do every single day, I journal, I read like a book, and then I read a devotional and I pray. Every single day without fail, will not start a day without it. Okay. Figure out some sort of self-development routine. It doesn't have to be what I do. Maybe it's an Audible, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's whatever it is, do it. Taylor, I will put it in the team page after the Zoom. So whatever that self-development looks like to you, do it, but stick to it, because the second you stop doing it is when things go crazy in your mind. Okay. So next thing I do, I send birthday messages every single day. Send a message to everybody on my Facebook on their birthday. And here's the thing, if I go to message them happy birthday and the last message was last year's happy birthday, I unfriend them because we haven't had any other interaction all year. Okay. Easy way to get rid of your inactive ghost friends. Okay. Next thing I do, I check in with my team. I make sure I talk to every single one of my new distributors every single day. And then I check in with a couple people that are running that don't need my one-on-one daily attention, but I check in with a couple different people every single day and just say, hey, how are things going? And if you have one person on your team, cool, check in with them every day. And if you don't, that's something you can do in the future. Okay. So next thing is posting on stories. This is something that is super important and you have to do it. Now, you do not need to go make all your own stories. There are so many different stories. I think on our Visioncasters page, there's a thread of Telegram groups that have stories already pre-made. Okay, go on there, save them, put them up. Don't go spend 6 hours and over making the cutest picture. Okay, no, I don't do that. Just The only one I do is at the beginning of the month. Okay, that's all I do. Don't waste your time. Don't try to make a new thing. It's already done. Okay. Next thing I do, growing your network. Okay. This is so important. I want you to put a 2 in the chat if you're like, oh, I feel like I post and I get no interaction, or I post a giveaway post and Haley gets 400 comments and I get 2. Anyone feel like that? Like you're like, what the heck is going on, right? Okay, there are 2 parts to that. One, you need to be growing your network every single day, okay? Now, if you're doing host to post consistently, you don't need to be going out of your way to add friends because you should be adding 20 to 30 a day through host to post. And we'll get into that in a second. But the other thing that I do is I follow 30 to 100 people on Instagram every day, and I unfollow 50 to 100 on Instagram every single day, okay? Super important. If you're not going to have a massive network until you intentionally grow it, okay? So many times newer distributors are like, oh, I can't get a customer. No one comments. No one does anything. Okay. When I started this business, I had like 200 Facebook friends, and I'm now close to maxing out every other day, okay? So you have to intentionally grow your network to become that network that helps you. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. The second part of getting the interaction that you want is interacting, okay? You need to intentionally do this. Set a timer for 10 minutes, go through your Facebook and like and comment on people's stuff, okay? At least 4 words per comment, because that is how Facebook sees that and they're like, okay, cool. Courtney and Haley are friends. I'm now going to show Haley Courtney's posts. So if you don't interact on anybody's posts, you're not going to see anything. Or if you notice, if you only interact on other It Works distributors posts because you're showing them love, which is fine, which is great, but then all you see are other It Works people, that's because that's the only type of interaction you're doing, okay? So next thing you need to be doing every single day is posting, okay? I know that as a new distributor, this is the hardest thing to do. This is the most terrifying thing. It's like, I don't know what to do, okay? First, if you're in your first 30 days, there's 30 days of posts written out for you. If you are beyond your first 30 days, there's nothing wrong with going to your enroller or your upline or whoever and saying, hey, I know I need to post, but it scares the crap out of me. I don't know how to write a post. Can you help me? And we'll work with you on how to write your own post so you feel confident in that, because you cannot go days without posting. You just cannot. I think, I don't know which night it was this week, but she said, if you had this favorite coffee shop and you drove there on a Monday and they were open, it was great, you got your coffee. Then you went Tuesday and they weren't there. And you're like, what the heck, man? Like, where did this coffee shop go? They were open yesterday. And then you go Wednesday, they're not there. Then Thursday, all of a sudden they're open again. And you're like, I don't even know what this shop is doing. Like, are they there? Are they not? That's how people are feeling. Okay. You have to show up consistently, because you never know when someone's like, okay, if I see that girl post one more time about this stupid coffee, I'm going to try it. I literally had someone message me that the other day. She's like, okay, enough about this stupid coffee. What is it? I've never talked to her in like 3 years, but I post every single day about my coffee because I'm obsessed with it. Okay. It might feel repetitive to post your business, your story every single day. It might feel repetitive to share you with a coffee cup every single day, but that's what this business is. Okay. And find ways to make yourself more comfortable with it. So, only a couple more things. 1, following up. Put a 3 in the chat if you're like, oh, I need to follow up more. Okay. Put it on your task list. Make sure you do it every dang day without fail. At least 20 people every day, because here's the thing. Every day that you follow up with someone, you're going to have someone that fell through the cracks because you're looking at your list and you're like, oh my God, I forgot about her. Literally just messaged someone before this and I was like, hey girl, I just realized you never got your order and do you need help? She goes, oh my God, I fell asleep. I'm going to go order right now. 70 BV order that I would have missed had I not followed up with her. Okay. So there's that. 10 host to post. Okay. I'm not going to go into how to get a post to post. Host to post, 10 of them should not be hard. It's only hard if you're telling yourself it's hard. So figure out a system and stick to the system, okay? If you don't know a system for host to post, reach out to your upline. We will walk you through it, okay? Distributor messages. Put a 4 in the chat if you're terrified of messaging for distributors. That was me about a month ago. I'm gonna be honest. I was not a fan of it. I was like, listen, I don't want to message. It's just not my thing. I'm not gonna do it. And Haley's like, well, I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll do it too then. Because how many of you, okay, if you put a 4, I now want you to put a 5 in the chat if you're like, but I want success so bad that I'm willing to do whatever the heck it takes. Because I got to a point where I was like, I'm willing to do whatever the heck it takes. I don't care if I have to send out 400 messages a day. I don't care if people judge me every second of my life. I don't care because I know what I want. Okay. So I personally send out a minimum of 50 distributor messages every single day. Okay. Now, have I signed 7,000 distributors this month? No, but I've signed 9. There's a start. How many of you put a 6 in the chat would like to sign 9 distributors in a month or 9 distributors in 2 weeks? Right? Okay, do more things. The last thing is something else that I've had to push myself to do, and that's TikTok. Y'all, I don't like TikTok. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it. I feel dumb. I feel like the weirdest person in the world. I feel like it's back to like middle school where I'm like, I don't fit in here. Like, I don't know what table do I sit at? Where am I? That's me on TikTok. But everybody says it works. So I'm like, you know what? Cool. We'll do it. We'll see what happens. Have I signed a distributor from TikTok yet? No. But do I know my explosion from TikTok is coming? Yes. Okay. So I will do it every single day without fail because that's what I was told to do. Okay. So these tasks are my expectations for myself. But like I said, they are minimums, not maximums, the minimum that I do every day. I have some days where I get up 42 host a post in a day, and some days I get up 11. Okay. But I know minimum, I will not go to bed until I get up 10. For example, some days I'll send out 200 distributor messages. Some days I just do 50. Okay. But here's the thing, when you keep stretching your task list, your minimums get bigger. Because at the beginning of when I started messaging, I was like, all right, I'm just going to send out 10 distributor messages. And now 50 feels easy. So probably in February, I'll jump it up to 100. Okay. So a couple tips and tricks for how to get stuff done. Okay. First, do the hardest stuff that you want to avoid first. Okay. So if you're like, I don't want to post a TikTok, you're going to do that first thing. If you don't want to message, you're going to do that first thing, because when you do the hardest thing first, everything else seems easier. Okay. So the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to commit to a list every single day for 30 days. Okay. Without fail. Yes, still take a Sabbath, but talk to your enroller about finding a list that works for you, that works with your timeline, that works with your goals. Okay. And hold yourself accountable to it. If you personally cannot hold yourself accountable, find someone that will hold you. So like for me, I have a couple people on my team that I send my list to every single day. No one else does, but I send it every single day because I know that they're looking at my task list. And if it's not done, I'm embarrassed. Okay. Because if you had a boss and they were like, hey, here are your 8 tasks to do every day, and at the end of the day, you showed them a task list where you finished 4 of it, they'd be like, what? Like you got half? Okay. Well, I'm going to give you half of your paycheck then. Like, okay. So figure out a way to hold yourself accountable. Here's what I want to leave you with. You have to show up to your business every single day if you want the enrollments and the paychecks to show up for you. Okay. The paychecks are not going to come if you show up once a week. The paychecks are not going to come if you show up 50% 6 days a week. Okay. You have to give it your all every single day, because when you start doing your list and sticking to it, not only will you feel like a beast because you're like, I got my list done again. I'm 100% this month. I have not gone a single day without completing my entire list. So I know what's coming from my team. I know what's coming from my business because I am being so intentional with my work and I'm sticking to it every single day. So that's what I got. Haley, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Take it away, girl.
Woo! That was so good. If you guys got some tips from that, drop a fire emoji, drop a boom in the chat, whatever you want to do. I guess before I get started, I want you guys to like really take this seriously and take notes. I kind of summarized everything that she was saying in the chat, so you can scroll back up in the chat and take notes there, but also just really like pay attention today, because we want to make sure that we're answering any questions that you have within this, but also that you're actually like applying what we are teaching you to do tonight. And so for those of you who are brand new or maybe just aren't, familiar with this terminology, KPIs stand for key performance indicator. And so this is literally the task that is going to measure your performance. So it's not just like an It Works thing. It's not an our industry thing. This is literally what corporate businesses, this is what they do and use is KPIs. So I'm sure you have seen the sheet. I don't know if I have it. I'm going to show you what it looks like really quick. So for those of you who might be like curious about what the sheet looks like, this is what it is. Okay. It's called the daily task list, otherwise known as KPIs. You can call it non-negotiables. Literally, it's the same thing, okay? You can find that in your eSuite. Just log in, go to your document library, and you can print it out right there. Now, this is typically like a guideline. This is going to be for something or for somebody who just doesn't know where to start. That's where you start. But for me, sure, I'll pretty much do everything on there, but I have my own system and I stick with it, and that's what works for me. So this is just going to be something that you have to play around with to see what works for you, because my system might not work for you and your system might not work for your team. You just have to play with it. So, but basically, like, even to piggyback off of what Courtney said, for you guys to be successful in this business, you must, like, this is a non-negotiable. You must show up and do the work every single day. Now, obviously, if you have a Sabbath, that doesn't count, because then you'll work 6 days, take your 7th day off. If you don't know anything about a Sabbath, ask your enroller. We can tell you what it means, what it is, kind of like all about it. But I highly recommend taking a Sabbath, because especially if you're really hustling those 6 days, you're going to need a mental break. I mean, you just will. And it's so refreshing. God will reward all the hard work that you put in for that whole week. And then you're like ready to go and fired back up when you get off that Sabbath. So, and with just being consistent, like, you guys, that's just going to show your following that they can trust you and that you're serious about this business. It's going to be able to help you in your performance with enrolling loyal customers, enrolling distributors. It's going to build your belief in yourself, increase your paycheck. Like, it's just a non-negotiable. And so I'm not going to go too much into the task, because Courtney did pretty much summarize everything. But as far as a few examples with each one, personal development, just like she said, podcasts, YouTube, journaling, motivational videos, worship music, sermons, prayers, devotionals. Like, this is all stuff for your mind, okay? For you guys to grow into the person that you are wanting to be, whether it's through this company or outside of this company, you have to stretch your mind. Like, you just have to, in order to become that person. Because where we are right now, where you are, where I am, where Courtney is, we are not ready for where we want to go. So we have to do the work, the internal work, to get there. And so if you want to be full-time in this business and make 500 plus a month, you have to exercise your mind to be mentally fit for where you set your goals at. And so that is why personal development is literally so important. Like, you cannot not do personal development. Number 2, so posting. So you guys, this posting, it does not necessarily just mean it works, okay? This is also talking about who you are, your life, sharing your lifestyle. So when it comes to that, products, business, lifestyle, engagement type posts on your stories, your feed, try to stay away from anything controversial, like anything negative. Like, you want to make sure you're attracting the right environment. And for anybody who does have, tips on personal development or whatever they listen to, go ahead and drop it in the chat too. And then you guys can take pictures of the chat. But product posts, you guys, show yourself using the product, talk on your stories, show boomerangs. That is why I wanted us to do a boomerang, because I want people to see that we are on a team Zoom. People are never alone. We're always doing free trainings. Like, we are here because we want you to win. And so your following, your potentials need to see what is actually happening behind the scenes. And same thing with like your business. So that can come from like talking about, your goals, sharing your story, why you started, sharing your enroller story, what you want this business to do for you, showing like how you're working, your office view, open enrollment, right? Like, you're hiring 5 new people kind of thing. So if your post can look so different, but it must say something about what you're doing with this company. And then just like lifestyle posts, that's literally things that have nothing to do with the company. It's just you showing like how you're a mom, you showing that you're, like for me, I am getting my personal training certification. So I'll talk about that. I post gym pics. You can post like a date night. It can be simple things like that. And so building your network, y'all, Facebook, you can build your network through friends of friends. Okay. So if you guys are having a hard time trying to build your network, other options before Hosted Post came about, this is what we did. We manually added people through friends of friends, groups, events, but typically now we are doing it through Hosted Post. So just be mindful about who you're adding, because we don't want to add like, people who are on our team or anything like that. So the mutual friends, just to make sure that we aren't in the same friend group. because I don't want to add like Courtney's potentials. That's not what I want to do. So, and with Instagram, you can follow people through the explore page, through locations, tags, friends of your followers, things like that. And so that's pretty much it with building your network. But messaging and following up, non-negotiable. So your messages can look like anybody who likes and comments on your post, okay? This can be people who are viewing your stories, people you think might have potential, who are just on your friends list. They can be your friends and family that you're just offering the opportunity to them. Host to post comments, people who have posted for you, host to post in the past. But like, don't word vomit on these people. Really don't whip up a script of your own, especially if you are brand new. Make sure you're talking with your enroller and sending screenshots of your conversations as you respond, because it's not that we don't want you to respond on your own, but we want to make sure we're helping you say the right thing, if that makes sense. So it's really easy to word vomit and not say the right thing. So that's pretty much it with like messaging and following up. Check back in with yesterday conversations that you had. So people from host to post, for example, a lot of people get busy or they might not have seen your message. So check back and make sure the message sent, or, you know, just be like, hey, like, did that sound good? Or it can be like literally a simple follow-up message like that. You can search keywords in your messages and your Facebook messages by searching weight loss or coffee or money, whatever keyword that's specifically talking about a product that you had a conversation with, or specifically talking about the business that you had a combo with. That is the word that you want to search, and it's going to pull up all those conversations for you to just check back in so easily. You don't have to message people day after day after day after day, like 7,000 messages in a row. Give some people some breathing room. It's okay. We have a life. Like, we want to make sure that we're being consistent, but we don't need to message them every single day. So yeah, like, don't be spammy. We don't want to do that. So host to post. So we are not going to go into host to post tonight. There's plenty of trainings out there for you. Go search the team page on exactly how to do host to post, plenty of Zooms out there, or get with your enroller and we can truly just walk through that too, especially if you are confused. But with host to post, make sure you're opted in this month. Obviously, if you're brand new, you don't have to worry about it. But if not, make sure you get your opt-in. But this is literally a full circle of all of our tasks. When you do host to post, people are going to come into your network. You're building your network. You're going to build your engagement. You're building your potentials list. And all those people are going to be seeing your post because they probably are a little skeptical about the giveaway, right? Like, they're probably like, is this actually legit? Is she actually giving $1,000 away? Like, what? There's no freaking way. But it's real. And they want to come to your page and see that you are a real person, that you do have a credible business. They have to see that. And so that's pretty much it with the task. But before I close out, I just kind of want to give a quick kind of like touch on how I stay organized in my time management little tips, because a lot of people just kind of get confused on how to stay organized with everybody they talk to, or maybe you just don't know how to work this in within your schedule. So there is a calendar link that I have posted in the team page, Vision Casters and Legacy Leaders. You can just search it like calendar link, or it's like a link or something, whatever. I'll put it in the chat too. But it's basically where all Zooms are at. Zooms, Power Hours, trainings. So that way you can be independent and go to the link and find out what's happening for the business today or tonight, okay? So this Zoom was on that link. So especially for newbies, this is something that is great for them too, because if they work, they can go to that link and see if there is a training that they can hop on. Thank you, Courtney. The link is in the chat. So that is something that really is just going to help you staying organized with showing up to trainings. And as far as like how I stay organized with my tasks, so like Courtney was saying, I don't follow that KPI. I have like my own little system. So every single day, okay, I have just a little notebook. Okay, I have Thursday to do, and I have all my tasks right here in black. Okay, so everything is in black. So for example, I have host to post, checking host to post and comments. How many host to posts am I actually getting up? How many messages did I send for my giveaway post? How many messages am I offering the opportunity to someone who posted in December for me? How many times am I posting? How many messages am I getting out on Explore, which is what Courtney was saying, the PDT type messages. So I want to make sure I'm tallying so I know where I ended off at and I'm hitting my goal. So for me and how I keep track, that's what's in blue. Okay, I'm like a color freak. I'm not a green by any means, but I'm a color freak. Okay, so all of my tallies is either my messages, my amount of messages I got sent out, my amount of posts I got sent out. Yes, the calendar is all in Central Standard Time. Or it's just, you know, how many times I posted, but it represents a number of. I have follow-ups. I have the team Zooms on here. I have just extra little things like LC retention, checking declines, sending out a message to my DTs and Connect. Like they're just random little things. And for you guys being new or maybe not new, you don't have to do that right now. Like as you get higher in leadership, there's going to be more responsibility for you. But as of right now, you just need to get down like the basic tasks, get consistent with that, get confident in it, get comfortable. And then once that happens, then you can start growing and you're going to start promoting and all the things are going to start coming to you anyway. But basically, if you guys want more results, you just have to do more. It literally just comes down to that, to be completely honest. Like if like, let's say you're working this part-time, okay, it doesn't actually mean that you're working part-time days. So like, think about that. If you do this an hour every single day, right? Because you can get all these tasks done within an hour of time. That's only 7 hours a week if you're not taking a Sabbath, okay? 7 hours a week. That's part-time, okay? Part-time. When I worked full-time with management hours, okay, I was in retail as a manager. I had an office job. I literally worked this basically full-time, like no joke, probably 5 to 8 hours a day on top of that, because I knew where I wanted to go. So I was willing to do more work. I was willing to make those sacrifices and wake up earlier before I had to go to work. I was willing to work on my breaks when I had, when I was at work and just any break shift that I could. In retail, anytime I went up and down the freaking elevator, the stock room, I was on my phone checking messages. Like that's just what I wanted to do because I knew the potential in this company. And when you see the vision, when you are showing up and you're consistent and you really start to believe that you can do it, you were going to be surprised by what you probably didn't even think you were capable of. I didn't think I was going to leave my job last year and make this a legit full-time business. I did not join this company thinking that, but you don't know what's going to happen unless you just do. And that's what I really want you guys to take away is that like you can still have your life. You can still be a mom. You can still do all of the things, but you can still do this business literally no matter what your schedule is. And so for you to keep track of your potentials, that's going to be super important too. So for me, like how I keep track, post to post, right? Make sure you guys have this printed off. This is also in your eSuite, post to post tracker. So I haven't filled mine out today yet, but I usually do that at night. So this is where you'll keep track of everybody who posts for you. Hundreds list. This is also in your eSuite. Okay, I'm trying to find. So hundreds list is where I keep track of my month potentials. So for example, this is what it looks like. Okay, I have one printed off for PDTs and one printed off for PLCs. Okay, so I'm keeping track of every single person I'm talking to. And you guys look, like I'm filling this out. Okay, I'm almost over 300, I'm almost over 300 potentials already so far this month, and it's only the freaking 14th. Like, it's crazy, okay? So calendar method, write down your potentials on your calendar. Here's an example. So if you don't have a calendar, then this is what you need to get to stay organized, especially if you are a green neat freak. I'm not, but this helps me. Boom, write down all the team Zooms, right? Conference right here, right? Conference on your calendar. Get organized. Use that calendar link and you can just put everything on here. It's what I do every single week, every Monday. I put everything on the week of so I know what's happening. Conference, Ashley. I'm so excited for conference, y'all. Okay. Then my potentials, they go here, okay? So it's literally, look, it's just, you know, it's just that simple. Like these are all brand new people. So you can't tell me that I'm not working. You can't tell me that I'm not doing what I need to do to go freaking VIP because I'm doing it, but I'm just doing more. So whatever works for you guys, you have to just figure out what's going to work, but start with the non-negotiable. list. And the last thing I will leave you with is show up as that promotional leader that you want to be. And if you want to be a diamond, you need to start showing up as a diamond. And I mean, like, show up to Zooms, do the work, be consistent, show up for your team, really help them, lead them. Because there's going to be responsibility as you grow your business each time you earn a promotion. And don't think it's going to get easier, because it's not. Like, we don't want to be in a business that's easy. Like, we want, to be honest, like, easy is not sexy. That's what I like to say. Easy is not sexy. Hard work, work ethic, being a badass, that's sexy. And if you start speaking what you want into existence, everything is going to come back tenfold. But until you put the action behind it, you're just not going to get anywhere. Like, we all know nothing changes if nothing changes. So you have to execute. Okay. We can do these, you know, these trainings, these one-on-ones all the time for you. We can hype you up. We can give you all the wisdom, all the tips. But if you're not willing to move, to make those steps, to show up for yourself every single day, that's on you. It's not on me. It's not on Courtney. It's not on your leader. It's not on Mark, the Pentecost, It Works, whatever. That's on you. So I hope this was super helpful. I hope you guys took a lot of notes, and make this like the year that everything literally changes for you. My word of the year is breakthrough. And what that means is I want to be able to break through literally everything I was never able to get through in my past. All like that mediocre lifestyle, the negative attitude, the negative self-talk, the low paychecks, like whatever that is for you, figure out that word. And if you know what your word is, put it in the chat so people can see it. But find that word that you want to stand by, that you want your vision to represent going into 2021. And one, just like Courtney was saying, accountability. We are each other's accountability partners, and we don't reflect each other's paycheck. Okay, let me just make that like clear really quick before we let you guys go. Find somebody that does not reflect your paycheck, because there's no emotional tie. Okay, there's no finger pointing. There's no being, you know, a boss, right? Like, we are here to help each other win. And so that just helps us stay accountable with making sure that like Courtney's winning. And when she wins, I win, because we just help each other out. So find somebody who you think you want to, you know, work with and work closely with, especially somebody who's similar to you. If you're a newbie, don't be accountable with a double diamond, because the workload, the expectation, the mindset, it's too different. Find somebody who's similar to you, who is going in the same direction as you, who wants the same things. And that can be even somebody on, you know, on our team. So that's all I got. Thank y'all for freaking showing up on our blackout night. This was so lit. Tomorrow is the last night of Spirit Week. Super excited. So Court, do you have anything to end off with?
Yeah, I have two things that I want to say real quick. One, if you're feeling overwhelmed by feeling like I have so much to do, there's no way I can't be on my phone for 8 hours a day, I want to tell you this. If you're super intentional with your time, and like Haley sets timers for herself. So she's like, okay, I'm going to spend 5 minutes doing this. I'm going to spend 5 minutes doing that. If you're intentional and not getting distracted, you can legitimately get your entire list done if you're working part-time in an hour, no problem whatsoever. Okay. 100%. And the second thing that I wanted to, like, Haley and I work this full time, and I would say intentional work, we put 3 to 4 hours in a day. We're kind of always answering, but like intentional focus, getting our stuff done is 3 to 4 hours a day. Okay. The other thing that I want to tell you, if you are lacking vision of what you can do with this company, of what this business can really do for yourself, for your family, for your life, for your legacy, get your butt to conference. If you have not got your conference ticket yet, message your enroller, message someone and be like, hey, I hear you have a code, because guess what? Everyone who's already bought conference tickets gets a 75% off code for you, because that's how much corporate loves you and wants you to see the vision for yourself. So my Zoom just died. I don't know what happened. So if you do not have your conference ticket, it literally makes it $22. Okay. We've all went to Target going to get toilet paper and spent $22 and forgot the toilet paper. Okay. Don't tell me you haven't done it. We've all done it. Okay. Spend the money, invest in yourself, because it is going to change the way your business looks and your life looks forever. Literally last year, I 10x'd my income in a matter of 6 months. Put a 0 in the chat if you want to 10 times your income.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I hope this was super helpful for you guys. I will put this up on my YouTube tonight, and I'm just so pumped to see what 2021 brings for our team, because man, it's about to get wild in here.
Dude, let's go.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
If you
y'all.
want to hop over